What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hopefully, you are having a very wonderful Hump Day Wednesday today. Whew, we are seeing a very wonderful Hump Day Wednesday. Jeez, look at the gap up we got going on today, up 1.4% on the gap up on the open. Currently up 1.65%, so up 1 2/3% there on the SPY. Nice move. If you want to know where this really was kind of coming from, if you look pre-market, obviously there was clearly a catalyst, and if we look at some of the data we got this morning, it revolves around everybody's favorite inflation. Core inflation rate year over year came in at 3.2%, which is a little bit lower than forecast and prior, which both of those were 3.3%. So a little bit of a reduction there. And then headline inflation came in at 2.9%, which was flat to forecast, but a little bit higher than prior. So inflation went a little bit higher, which is interesting that it did. And the market kind of reacted that way. I guess the market was a little bit more happy with the core inflation number. Anyways, that is the data we got Wednesday morning. So the market liked it a lot, and took off. There you go. As far as how we are doing on the Q's up pretty good, up almost 2% currently. They've been up over 2%, looking pretty good there on the Q's. So there you go. IWM currently up about 2% right now. Also had a pretty good gap up today as well. DIA up 1.6%, looking pretty good. Nice gap up there. RSP is looking kind of interesting. Okay, so a nice gap up here on the RSP, but it has faded back a little bit from the open. Doesn't really have any kind of good bullish move there so far on the day or intraday. Okay. Anyways, still the RSP is up 1%. Looks pretty decent. Kind of hit into that 50 EMA and that 100 daily moving average. So yeah, maybe it just kind of had a pretty good bounce off that 200 over the past like 2 days, and just wanted to kind of rest a little bit before maybe it continues higher. I'd expect it probably does continue higher going into the latter part of this week, early next week. So there you go. DIA, nice gap up. Doji, kind of just not doing a whole lot. Has not taken out this high. Yeah, has not taken out the high from December 26th. Okay. IWM has not taken out its high from January 6th. So, but definitely bounced off that 200 moving average. Okay. And Q's got close to that 100 moving average. Bounced kind of around that 10, 20, 50 moving averages right now. Kind of where it's interacted today. Kind of just hanging out. It's a pretty large gap today, so we might not see crazy movements for the rest of the day. And the SPY broke its 100, but ever since it did that on the gap down on Monday, we looked pretty bullish ever since then. Right now, it's currently above all the moving averages, so looking pretty good. Probably does continue higher as we go into the latter part of January. So that was kind of the thing though that we talked about kind of last week when we got this day, last Tuesday, that the possibility of this, we're probably going to look to probably come down, break these lows that we put in, and make an ABCDE type of move. Because once we stopped going higher there Monday and Tuesday, I was like, yeah, it's going to be a real possibility that we do that. So, not totally shocked, but I would definitely expect us to kind of go higher from here. Anyways, yeah. That's the way I would be looking to play it. The one thing that was kind of interesting as far as the intraday kind of goes is the RSP out of the 5 here was the only one that was kind of had some steady selling coming in throughout the day. Most of the others kind of had at least a period of time of bullishness, but it is what it is. Rotation across the markets happens. VIX pulling back a little bit, kind of just around the 17 level. Not gonna be surprised this thing probably just drops off, kind of like what we were just talking about, the market going bullish second half of January, February-ish time frame. I'm not gonna be surprised if this thing kind of drops off. Kind of makes sense to me. DXY, dollar index. Well, it has been running pretty good since the end of September, and It hasn't really broken through the 20 moving average. I mean, I back out and you just see how much of a straight line this thing's been going higher. So I know it's getting up into the highs that it put in kind of towards the end of 2022, and so I don't know, man. It's been running good. The only that's about the only thing I can say. It's tough. It's like, man, I want to stay in it. I want to get the gains while the gains are good. But at some point in time, you got to realize, man, strong moves like that, like they don't happen that often. So I don't know. I would be much more willing to, I would say, be patient. Or be very precise on, like, hey, I'm gonna get in at this level, I'm gonna get out at this level, that kind of thing. But I wouldn't be looking for strong trend continuation like what we've been having. Not unless we have some pretty serious consolidation, and that was kind of what I was about to hint at. Is like we need to see some really good consolidation, or just kind of be hands off, kind of just monitoring and wait till you see that consolidation kind of come in, and then make some better assessment decisions on what we think could happen. As far as GLD Gold Trust, all right. It is staying right above the moving averages for now. It's basically flat on the day. Did have a little bit of a gap up there on the GLD. Let me check gold futures because it's kind of getting weird here. Man, this is so tough. It kind of does look like it's getting a little tired here. Maybe it rolls over, comes down at 200. Either way, I don't think I would want to make any kind of a decision here on gold. I think I would rather just be, if I'm in it, I'm cool with it. If we get that pullback to like that 200 level, that would be where I would want to add more. Maybe it happens soon. I don't know. Maybe not. But if it continues higher, I mean, obviously you just let it go. And then maybe you look to take profits if we make new all-time highs and stuff like that here over the next couple of months. But I think if you drop and pull back to that 200, I think you're probably definitely looking to pull up, uh, you know, add to some positions. 10-year yield. So yeah, we broke that high back from last April last week. And obviously the move today on yields is coming right back down. So not saying we're not going to get to volatile areas because when we made this move back in 23, the second half of 23, we made this strong move up, like we made this strong move up. We kind of got into the same level and we got some volatility, this nice strong pullback. So did we just start a strong, not a strong pullback, but we had a pretty good pullback there for a few days and then we continued higher. Does that happen this time? It's very possible. We came almost, pretty much into that same level where we saw some pretty good topping action volatility. We had 2 days of wicks above kind of this level where we kind of topped out recently. So, yeah, we might not be done. We've also been a pretty strong trend here. So I can definitely see us maybe pull back a little bit more and then go higher. HYG, look at that strong move. Ooh, woke up today and nice gap up, man. Nice gap up. Basically the highs that we put in basically last week. Looking pretty solid. I'd be curious to see if we just kind of basically double bottomed off of this 200 moving average and maybe we go higher, or if we're just in somewhat of a consolidation area because we also broke this kind of level of support and resistance down and we pivoted off of it, retested off of it and broke down last week. And basically that's where we gapped to today. So this is going to be an interesting one. Are we just starting to set up a consolidation here? And what will happen going forward? That'd be interesting. LQD. Yeah, LQD, TLT. Kind of mentioned that Monday. It was not on live stream yesterday. But Monday, kind of talking about how, these kind of have gotten a little bit extended. They've gotten to some levels that are some support areas that there's not much downside yet, right? We got back down to some key kind of support and resistance levels, for the LQD and TLT. So it's like, it's like, wait. We just saw a pretty good strong trend down for the past few weeks, 3-4 weeks. So it was a good time to say, hey, you know what? Just wait. There's going to be better setup and opportunities. TLT was a little bit different. I mean, basically the same. We had a strong move down. We were getting into the lower areas here, but as we kind of got down, this is back in September, October of 2023. Once we initially got down in this area, we had some strong pops higher, and then we broke down lower. So we might continue to push up a little bit more, and I think that might make some sense with kind of what we were thinking about yields. Maybe yields go a little bit lower in the next few days, and then we see a move higher on yields, and we'll see bonds probably drop off again. That might make this play out again, almost in our current situation. So that'd be some stuff I'd be looking for here for the next few days. If we continue a little bit higher here on the TLT or LQD, you pick the one that maybe you like the most. If you're not already playing this other ways or have an idea, those are just some ideas I'm kind of throwing out there. I mean, ever since the middle of September, TLT, LQD have been just getting slaughtered, which my favorite way to probably continue to play these is bullish on the HYG, bearish on the LQD or TLT. Probably the TLT. That's just kind of the way I've kind of been saying it. I mean, going back to basically mid-September. If you weren't aware, I mean, we were seeing some decent strength, not really breakdownness of the HYG, but if you looked at like the TLT or the LQD, we started to see some pretty strong breakdownness. I don't even know if that's a word, breakdownness, but I'm gonna say it. Just weakness, okay, some weakness there from the TLT. So that was kind of the whole mindset back then, and we might not be done with that move quite yet. So we might have one more little drop to come in, but other than that, yeah, not much. We'll see how things set up in the future on bonds. Oh boy, yeah, we got that gap up today. So here's sector rotation. Be really interesting to see how sector rotation looks without the gap. But leading the days, financials looking really solid. Discretionaries, tech, utilities all looking really good. Communications kind of in line with the market there. Real estate, energies, industrials, materials, healthcare, and staples at the lower end of the day. So that's interesting. Okay. As far as intraday price action, here you go. Intraday price action. Energies leading the day. Okay. And then we got tech kind of in line with the market there. Utilities underperforming, communications, financials, healthcare, discretionaries all underperforming, industrial, staples, materials underperforming pretty good amount there. Real estate getting hit pretty solidly, which is interesting. Very interesting, because we're seeing a pretty good drop there in yields, but real estate is down. So, okay. That's an interesting one. I don't know, maybe was there, yeah, I mean, we had a pretty strong bounce on the open on real estate, and kind of as we were looking through yields and bonds, maybe people are like, yeah, we think yields will probably continue to go higher. We're going to look for the opportunity right now from this bounce in REITs to close out of this, some of this REITs assets that people have had, because that is a very interesting sell down throughout the day. So definitely tells you investors not really buying the whole yield dropping storyline or what's going on in the market right now.